Thank you so much to my Patreon supporters, Stuart Hetherington, thank you and thanks buddy, and Steve Bradshaw, thank you and thanks buddy, as well as all the other Patreons. I really appreciate your support. Thanks. Now, if you'd like to be a Patreon supporter, go ahead and click the links below. Check out how you can become a Patreon supporter. Now, some of the advantages that you'll have is absolutely nothing. There are no advantages at all to joining, but you are supporting us, and I appreciate all your help. Well, hey there, Papper people. It's me, the Lanky Lefty 27. I'm going to be doing a review of the Fisher Paykel SleepStyle CPAP APAP machine. Now, this thing is billed by F&P. I'm going to say that because, quite honestly, I think I screw up the name, the pronunciation quite often. F&P.
The F&P SleepStyle.
This thing is billed by F&P as a travel CPAP. That's like the niche they're going for, apparently, or niche, if you pronounce it that way. Now, quite honestly, I'm not exactly sure why it's billed as that, but there's a couple little things that may shed a little bit of light on that particular distinction that they're trying to make. Perhaps it's just that they're trying to compete in a busy marketplace, but you know, who really knows? Now, quite honestly, doing reviews of CPAP machines is kind of difficult for me as I gently cradle this lovely SleepStyle under my left armpit. Cute little guy. It's very difficult to judge these things. Really what you're looking for is it quiet? Does it look like hell next to your bed? Does it have ease of mobility? And how difficult is it to get information off of it if you wanted to? We'll kind of dive into all of those things. But let's go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and sit it next to this giant metal ball. So if you have a giant metal ball at home, you too know exactly the size of this thing. Let's go ahead and look at some of the features. Now, if you decide that the Fisher Paykel SleepStyle is something for you, why don't you go ahead and take a quick listen to my sponsor and see how we might be able to save you a little scratch. That'll give me time to place this gently next to my giant metal ball. Well, hey there, little fella. You're looking for the best possible deals in CPAP equipment? Head on over to freecpapadvice.com/forum, click on the giant link at the top, and that is gonna take you directly to cheapcpapsupplies.com. They're the sponsor of this video. They're kindly reminding you here to use discount code LEFTY16. Yeah, that's the new one. That's a good one for all the cool kids. Now let's take a look-see here at the Fisher Paykel SleepStyle that we're checking out. Add it to the cart. $1,000 and $1,049? That's too much for me, my rich friend. Lefty16 shall come to the rescue. That's simply preposterous. I'm not paying that. I'm not paying that. Now you can also use the links down below, but we're getting in this way. Let's apply the code. Holy smokes, we just saved ourselves, or you, $167.84. That is ridiculous. That is a great price. Now maybe you're not interested in buying the Fisher Paykel SleepStyle. Maybe instead you just want a mask or something. Well, you can use it for masks, cleaning supplies, headgear, whatever you want. No prescription required on some items. You can qualify through your insurance. There's a 30-day mask guarantee. This is absolutely preposterous. You know what happens with these kind of deals is you go out of business. Yeah, you go out of business real quick selling stuff this cheap. Go ahead and check out my sponsors, cheapcpapsupplies.com. So before we actually get into the machine, let's check out something that has absolutely nothing to do with the machine, and that is the Light Thermo Smart Tube. You can see that here. Now they say it has something called air spiral technology. That's kind of like when I used to say this mask has magnet technology, and I said it ironically because I thought it was kind of stupid. They are saying it unironically. But you can see what it does have. They actually are spirals of air, and then you can see the heated line running in between them. So you have a double layer here because of the tube of condensation prevention, which is kind of cool, along with the heated line going throughout it. Now, if I do pull this out of the back, I can go ahead and show you. That's what it looks like. It is putting a little current through there to keep it warm. And this is completely automated, which I think is kind of neat. So this is going to prevent all the rain out in here. So if you have the humidifier on and you're getting moisture in your tubing, it is going to prevent that from occurring. And it does that all automatically. So as far as getting into the humidification chamber, you're going to, one, you have this little handle. This is why it's so great for travel, apparently. It's got a handle. But you go ahead and push in here and open the top. Now you have your humidifier chamber. If you want to open it up and you're maybe trying to clean it out, you're just going to lift up here and pull this open. Now, I don't know this for a fact, but you can see how thin that is. I'll try to line it up with a black background so you can really see it. Look at how thin that is. This looks like one of those little lunch totes you give to kids and they rip it off within the first week. If you're gentle with it, I'm sure it'll be fine. I've never heard of these tearing. This one obviously hasn't torn. I haven't actually used a humidifier enough to know if this is gonna snap off with heavy use. They do say it's dishwasher safe, which is pretty nice. You can also pull off the gasket here. It's all dishwasher safe, but that allows it to get to the bits. Anyhow, you can go ahead and pull this out. Make sure this is closed up tight. Fill the water in here to the max fill line. You put this thing, the gasket back on so none of the water is gonna leak out if there's any movement. Place it back in here and close the lid. With that demonstration, you can see why this won some goofy award from the Arthritis Foundation. It's got a lot of easy things to use if your fingers are having a little troubles moving. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the features of this. I may have to crack into the clinician's menu to do so. I warn you of this so you can click off now if you don't want to be a part of this highly illegal activity. You know what, if you like that I'm going to show you how to get into the clinician's menu, go ahead and smack like on that. Give it a big thumbs up. Maybe leave a comment down below about how I can evade capture should the CPAP police find evidence of this. I want to be clear that our sponsor has nothing to do with this. They just supplied me with a machine and I am doing all this stuff YOLO. I am just an absolute wacky madman. So cracking into this is actually quite easy. You're just going to push on the start stop button. So normally if you just want to turn it on, hit the button there and it's going to hold on. Now if you wanted to have the ramp on, you're going to push and hold this even longer. So I'm going to cover up that so you can actually hear. So you can see the ramp turns on once you start it and then you push and hold it, that'll turn the ramp on. Now you can stop it, it's gonna cut off. So if you wanna actually enter the clinician's menu, you're gonna push here and any of these four, it doesn't matter, any of them, pick one. Clinician's menu, and you can see the therapy popped up. Let's go ahead and zoom in even more so you can see everything. Okay, so we have the therapy mode here. You can click down or up. So I can exit if I hit this is the select button. Up, down, menu just takes you back, all right? So let's go ahead and go down. So we have the therapy mode. In here you can toggle up and down between auto and CPAP. I just like it on CPAP, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave it there. Now I can set the pressure. So up or down. I'm going to be doing a comparison with the ResMed version of this just for sound, and I have it already set to 10, so we're going to go ahead and set that to 10 now. Now, if you were doing, if you did set it for APAP, you would go ahead and set the range, and it's really the exact same as that. You just set two separate pressures. Actually, no, let's go ahead and do that. So let's pretend we're doing APAP. Select that. There's a minimum pressure. It's 4, maximum pressure 18. Yeah, that sounds smart. Yoink. Not really, but that's how you do it. So let's go ahead and change the mode again to just straight CPAP. We want it at 10. All good. Now here's the comfort settings. Humidity level. We can go ahead and select that. This is set for the highest humidity level, so it'll really crank it up. We can go ahead and change that down. Now we have expiratory relief. Now this is when you're exhaling and the pressure drops a little bit. Now there's a trade name for every company. Respironics uses A-Flex or C-Flex. It's A-Flex on any of the newer ones. Expiratory pressure relief is used by ResMed, and F&P uses just expiratory relief. So if we select that, we can say, right now it's set to not having it because I personally don't like it and I've been using it. So we're gonna say, let's go ahead and use it. And you have 3 different versions. So this is the lightest amount of expiratory relief. So when you exhale, the pressure will really drop as little as possible. With the next one, the pressure will drop a little more, and on the most, the pressure will decrease the most that it can on every exhalation. The goal of this is to make it more comfortable for you, but I have videos on why I don't like this. You can watch those other ones if you want. I'm not gonna explain it here. You can watch those videos. I have other videos on that subject. I'm not talking about it here. So let's go ahead and turn this back down. Here you see that it actually says, allow patient to adjust that. Some DMEs are butt nuts and they'll put it on, no, they can't change it. But it's kind of nice when they put it so you can change it. You have manual control of this outside of the clinician's menu, which you saw is not hard to get into. So we're gonna we'll go ahead and allow us to change that. Now, Sense Awake is actually a really cool feature. Sense Awake is like an automatic ramp. It can also be used for leak prevention. So maybe you're having a lot of leaks that are waking you up. The machine will sense that you're struggling. It'll sense that you wake up and have movement. And what it does with that is it triggers an automatic ramp. What that means is it drops the pressure back down and it increases the pressure when it deems it's appropriate. So once the seal comes back, the leak drops, or once you seem like you're asleep, it's gonna put the pressure back up. So it gives you a chance to get to sleep. It helps fix leaks. It's actually quite a cool feature. I toyed around with it just a little bit. Made for a really crappy video, so I thought I would just actually tell you about it. You're welcome. So we can go ahead and select that. Sense Awake, it's just an on or off. We're gonna go ahead and say, yeah, sure, why not? And then it gives you a pressure that it can drop down to once that occurs. So four's pretty low, but I typically don't use it real high, so I just left it at 4, and it did its thing. Allow patient to deactivate or activate? Of course, it's all about you, boo-boo. Now, this is where you can display the pressure. While it's on, if some people like to look over if they're on auto PAP and see where they are, like when they wake up and when they go to sleep. So you can go ahead and select that. Will it display or not? Sure, I like seeing it too. And then you can have it in different units. I've never used that unit, so yeah, don't even know what it is. Quite honestly, I could look it up. Am I gonna? Nah. I like centimeters of water pressure. It's what I use all the time, so we are gonna continue with that. Now you can display the apnea-hypopnea index. I typically don't like doing that, or I don't recommend that for people because, well, you know what, with this machine I would. Now's a great time to go ahead and add this little bit in. So go ahead and add bit right here, Jason. Not just yeah, but hell yeah, we've got some great news if you have a ResMed machine or a Respironics machine, because what we found is that the Icon and the SleepStyle are not supported. They're not working, but the Oscar support team has said they will be working on this, and I will provide an update. Hopefully that gets up soon. Now that's an absolute bummer. That's the one thing I'm not a big fan of with this machine, but let's go ahead and continue. So you can display the AHI here since you sure as hell aren't gonna get it anywhere else. So go ahead and display it, yeah. Keep in mind that may not be entirely accurate because the machine marks stuff as it sees fit, and it doesn't exactly jive with what we do in a sleep lab necessarily when we're doing a titration on a patient. Now you can change the time here. It doesn't really do any good, but this makes a hell of a nice bedside clock. And so it makes it easy to set the time there. You can set the language. You can see the information. That has things like amount of time used. You can see how much time I've used it. I used it a total of 3 nights, 17 hours. Yeah, not getting a lot of sleep around here, buddy. You can check any faults. You can clear the patient data, do a factory reset, and then at the very bottom is exit clinician's menu. Get out of that. Now this does have a modem that you can set up. It does have an app, so you can download the app, get it for your mobile phone. You can check all the AHI leak data on that. Now, as I just showed you, this stick, it is a USB stick. Looks like it does not work with both Sleepyhead or Oscar, but this is a little USB card. Hopefully the developers can make it work. I know that the Icon used to work, but for whatever reason, I couldn't get it to work. I couldn't get it to open at all. I recorded data, I made sure it was connected and showed that the data card was inserted correctly. I don't know if I did something wrong, but I certainly couldn't get it to work, and I could find no information anywhere that anyone could get this to work with either Sleepyhead or Oscar. Hello, I am future Jason, much smarter than old-timey Jason. Now I spoke with Fred, the project manager of Oscar, and they are gonna try to get some data to hopefully crack the code of Fisher Paykel. Hopefully I can get the rep to get on board and give me a little loving on the backside. Oh, that sounds bad. No. Hopefully he'll give me the codes to crack this bay. If I'm wrong, please mention it in the comments. I'll go ahead and pin it. You guys can check there and see if someone got it to work and what the magic secret sauce was. We'll go ahead and do a sound test. I don't like it really doing the decibel thing. I'll just let you go ahead and listen to it with the microphone. You can decide if one's louder or not. They're all friggin' quiet. Back in my day, when I first started, they were all loud. They all sounded like 727s taken off. All of them were loud, and the patients were like, oh yeah, that's actually much better than the previous year. It's getting to the point now, it's getting a little ridiculous. I would highly suggest earplugs if you're that sensitive to it, but they're all quiet, all right? They're all quiet. But with that in mind, I'm here to please you, my friends. So let's go ahead and list all of them. I have my good friend here, Mr. AirSense 10 Auto, to help me out. It's set for 10. This is set for 10. I'm gonna just plug the hose on this. I'm just gonna plug the hose on this so you don't have to hear it. And here we go. First test. Actually, let's do this one first. So you know it's on. Okay, I'm gonna plug the hole. We'll go ahead and let it ramp up. That's a pretty nice sample. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and turn that off. Very good. Now on to the SleepStyle. Leave it on so you know it's cooking. All right, there we go. It's at 9.4. Now that's it. How exciting was that? You know, in our scientific survey, we found that they're both hella quiet. How nice is that? So one thing that makes the SleepSense really kind of cool is this. Yes, a bag. It's a bag. This comes free with it. So a lot of the other companies, they'll sell these extra bags to come with it for like 30, 40, 50 bucks. This comes with it, as does the heated tube. That makes it super nice. Now, if you have gone to Cheap APAP Supplies to check out the price, it is a little bit more than the AirSense 10, but as you noticed, if you use Lefty15 on this, you use that coupon code, that sucker plummets down into the 800s. You get a nice little discount on that baby. So keep that in mind. Yes, it does not have Sleepyhead or Oscar compatibility at this point, unless I've been proven wrong. And again, check the description box below. As soon as I see that thing, I'm bumping it up to the top as soon as I can confirm that it's true. Other than that, to me, you can see the size of these two things. Look at the size of those. For whatever reason, this is really aesthetically pleasing to me. I don't know. Having Sleepyhead compatibility is very important. So you know what? If you're gonna use my sponsor, cheapcpapsupplies.com, and you wanna buy a CPAP machine, keep that in mind. You can buy any machine you want there. Coupon code applies, Lefty15, you can save a bunch of cash. All right, thank you for stopping by. Now, if you would like to support our channel, please check out my Patreon at patreon.com. I have all this stuff in the description box below. I also have a direct link. You can PayPal me a little scratch, say, hey, thanks, Jason. I really appreciate what you're doing over there, but I really would rather not support you long term. What you do is nice, but I've seen better. You can do that. Now is also a great time to mention that separate from what I just said, I have to say this right, you get in trouble. You get in big trouble if you don't say it right. As an Amazon associate, I earn on all qualified purchases. All right, thanks for stopping by. If you're looking to support this channel, head on over to maskbright.com. You can pick up some Mask Bright there, as well as a large selection of slightly used masks at very affordable prices. Go ahead and check it out. It helps support this channel. Now is a great time to also mention that we are an Amazon affiliate. Now, as an Amazon affiliate, we earn on all qualified purchases. So we will have a link in the description box below. Then let's go ahead and mention this Patreon thing just one more time. Now, some of the benefits of joining this is absolutely nothing. There really is no benefit at all. You can look at these for free on YouTube. But if you're appreciative of our work, you can go ahead and check this out and donate monthly.